Hello guys, welcome back to this tutorial. Um, as you can remember from the last slide, we had started building our Node.js application. We were able to send this message, welcome to Node.js. This is going to be fun to the home page. So we go back and start our application by running npm start. Uh, right now, our Dortmund is working, as you remember. It's working behind the scenes. That way, whenever there's a change, it will restart. So what I want us to do right now is before we start implementing the MVC pattern, where we're gonna have the model folder, the controller folder, and then the views folder. Before we do that, I wanted to show you guys the different routes by just uh, implementing these routes in this app.js file. So if we go back to uh, uh, the app right now is running on port 3000. So let me open that port real quick. And give me 1 second. Just 1 second. Okay, so as you can see, if you go to let me close this window real quick, and then so if you go to this port right here, port 3000, you're gonna see this message right here, which was saying welcome to Node.js. Okay, so give it a second, let it load. Let me reload again. Oh, sorry. Sorry, guys. So, um, if we go back to the VS Code, you can see that our app is. I think I had changed the port to 3001. So we have to go to this port for it to be able to work. And I think this is misleading. It's supposed to be app is running on port. Is running on port 3001. So as you can see, Nodemon is restarting the application, and then let's wait for the console log. So as you can see now, it's running on port 3001. So if we go back to our browser and then just remove the 0 and put 1 right there, you'll see welcome to Node.js. Okay, so that means now our application is working correctly. So let's go back to VS Code again. So now I would like to introduce maybe two more routes in our application, and for this application we can maybe add another route, and we can call this route. Right now this is the home page because they use middleware text the path right here. You can specify and say when a user logs in my application and they visit maybe home page slash maybe user. So I want them to be able uh, to see a list of users. So for instance, if we go back to our browser one more time, let's say right here, we want when users visit homepage slash users like that, they're able to see a message right here saying, uh, here's a list of users, something like that. So to be able to implement that, let's go back to our VS Code real quick. So you'll be able to do that by using the app, and then use with the use middleware, and then for here you, the first parameter that you can specify is the path that you want uh, this middleware to give a response to. So for our case, we want excuse me, we want to be able to have a message when a user visits the user's page. So for this one, put a slash and then the name of the part of in our case is the users. And then next, add a comma, and then we're going to do a similar thing like this right here, where we have the request, response, and the next. So just go ahead and do uh, uh, you start with the request and then the rest. For it to be able to be easy to remember, you can always just say rec and rest. That's how when I was starting learning Node.js, I could easily remember by just saying rec and rest. So that way you know the request is the first part, and then the response, and then the next function right here. Okay, so in there, let's do the arrow function, and then what do you want to send there when the user visits that page? So you'll use the rest.send, and then in there, for now we can just output a message like here is a list of uh, let's see, just a second. Here is a list of users, uh, something like that. Okay, now our application is restarting, and when a user visit this slash users page, they should be able to see this message right here, which says here is a list of users for now. Okay, so let me go back to the browser and then just refresh this part. So you can see the localhost, and then it's on port 3001. And then when you do the slash, let's refresh this part right here. You can see it says here's a list of users. So that's how you add different routes to your application. Let's go back to the VS Code again. And let's say we want to add another route where a user is able to maybe add a user. So for this, we can even copy this part right here. And then for this route, we want to maybe point to add a user, something like that. So, and the message that we would like to output for now is maybe add new user, something like that. Okay. So this is the expected response when a user goes to this endpoint right here, add user. So let's go back to the browser real quick, and then in there we're gonna remove the users part, and then just maybe do add user, something like that. So as you can see, when the application reloads, you're able to see the new message. So this is how you implement different routes in your application. And I wanted to touch on this before we start implementing the MVC. And the reason for this is, as your application grows and you have different routes, you want to have like different folders which takes care of maybe the users, and then there is another folder which takes care of maybe the model when we start implementing the database. And then the controllers folder is where we would like to add this logic right here, because every application as it grows, you're gonna add more logic. It's not just going to be the response that we are sending right here. So in our next slide, we'll continue building the application, and then we can add these three folders that I just mentioned. So thank you, and let's keep watching.